How we doing today? Welcome to DormalTalk. I'm Killian.
And I'm ZeroFoxGiven.
And in today's episode of DormalTalk, we continue on with some more short stories of horror that are better than any movie you've seen.
The Perfect Plan by Hunt Frog. On Monday, I came up with the perfect plan. No one even knew we were friends. On Tuesday, he stole the gun from his dad. On Wednesday, we decided to make our move during the following day's pep rally. On Thursday, while the entire school was in the gym, we waited just outside the doors. I was to use the gun on whoever walked out first. Then he would take the gun and go into the gym blasting. I walked up to Mr. Quinn, the guidance counselor, and shot him in the face 3 times. He fell back into the gym, dead. The shots were deafening. We heard screams in the auditorium. No one could see us yet. I handed him the gun and whispered, "Your turn." He ran into the gym and started firing. I followed a moment after. He hadn't hit anyone yet. Kids were scrambling and hiding. It was mayhem. I ran up behind him and tackled him. We struggled. I wrenched the gun out of his hands, turned it on him, and killed him. I closed his mouth forever. On Friday, I was anointed a hero. It was indeed the perfect plan.
Straight up dirty.
That
Dirty.
is a gnarly one. What a little nod to Columbine, but just with a nasty little twist at the end. Now, in today's day and age, you can never get away with something like that just because of all the surveillance. But imagine this taking place sometime in the 80s,
90s even.
No security cameras at
social
school.
media. And then, of course, your phone tracks you everywhere you go.
Oh, my
So, yeah, probably not today, but this could have definitely happened like in the 80s or something, or 90s.
And how frightful it would have been.
And I think the guy responsible was made out to be a hero. Bro.
He Stood Against My Window by Sabet Hook. I don't know why I looked up, but when I did, I saw him there. He stood against my window. His forehead rested against the glass, and his eyes were still and light, and he smiled a lipstick red cartoonish grin, and he just stood there in the window. My wife was upstairs sleeping, my son was in his crib, and I couldn't move. I froze and watched him looking past me through the glass. Oh, please, no. His smile never moved, but he put a hand up and slid it down the glass, watching me. With matted hair and yellow skin and face through the window, I couldn't do anything. I just stayed there, frozen, feet still in the bushes I was pruning, looking into my home. He stood against my window.
So for some reason, I thought that this dude had someone else inside with the dude, not realizing the guy was outside. I was thinking like the dude looking through the window was gonna like point and like the guy was gonna take him out inside, like,
Yeah.
partnership kind of deal.
Yep.
Not the fact that our writer is outside looking into his house.
Yeah, he turned the tables on us right there at the very end, created some great tension by mentioning that his wife and children were sleeping upstairs. And it all just comes down to that one line, feet still in the bushes. That's when you realize, uh-oh.
Yep, he's not in this house. The dude is.
Oh, man.
My Daughter Learned to Count by Real Science 87. My daughter woke me around 11:50 last night. My wife and I had picked her up from her friend Sally's birthday party. We brought her home and put her to bed. My wife went to the bedroom to read while I fell asleep watching the Braves game. "Daddy," she whispered, tugging at my shirt sleeve. "Guess how old I'm going to be next month?" "I don't know, beauty," I said as I slipped on my glasses. "How old?" She smiled and held up 4 fingers. It is now 7:30. My wife and I have been up with her for almost 8 hours. She still refuses to tell us where she got them.
Well, shoot, these kids out here are out of control. Cutting off fingers, dropping razor blades. Oh, man.
Your initial reaction. No, you're just like, no, just no.
Absolutely not. No child of mine is going to be pulling something of that nature. That is unacceptable.
Bro, the first thing I'd do is probably like drive to the police station and be like, "Where did these come from?
Dude, I would, submit them for some DNA testing, maybe try and figure out exactly who it was.
No, that's just insane. And then obviously it had to be at the party.
It had to have been. I didn't even notice. I did not even consider that they might be child's fingers from the child party. That just...
Well, it never says what size they are. They could be grown-up fingers, so it could be the parents. It could be... heck, she could have stumbled onto something in the basement.
Whoever's
Or the kid could be
fingers they belong to, they need to get put on ice immediately.
So you could cool them down or what?
Just to keep them alive, just in case, we find out who they belong to and we're trying to sew them back on. That's how you keep them.
Considering the fact that it's been about 8 hours, they might be dust, bro.
Seems like it's a no-go, doesn't it? There's no reason to be afraid by whoever fights monster. When my sister Betsy and I were kids, our family lived for a while in a charming old farmhouse. We loved exploring its dusty corners and climbing the apple tree in the backyard, but our favorite thing was the ghost. We called her Mother because she seemed so kind and nurturing. Some mornings, Betsy and I would wake up, and on each of our nightstands, we'd find a cup that hadn't been there the night before. Mother had left them there, worried that we'd get thirsty during the night. She just wanted to take care of us. Among the house's original furnishings was an antique wooden chair, which we kept against the back wall of the living room. Whenever we were preoccupied watching TV or playing games, Mother would inch that chair forward across the room towards us. Sometimes she'd manage to move it all the way to the center of the room. We always felt sad putting it back against the wall. Mother just wanted to be near us. Years later, long after we'd moved out, I found an old newspaper article about that farmhouse's original occupant, a widow. She'd murdered her 2 children by giving them each a cup of poisoned milk before bed. Then she'd hanged herself. The article included a photo of the farmhouse's living room with a woman's body hanging from a beam. Beneath her, knocked over, was that old wooden chair placed exactly in the center of the room.
Alright, so I'm just going to come out and say it. That's probably been about your best read so far.
That is a great story. It reads really nicely and really creepily, I might add.
Especially when you think about the cups that she left there. Was she trying to poison those kids too? Or was she just learning from before? What was the deal with that?
Absolutely. Just a complete misconception by the children, thinking the ghost was nice and friendly. And then only to realize at the end of the day, just a murderous ghost.
Reliving her last moments on Earth.
Oh, disgusting.
Thank you for joining us on DormalTalk. Stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you and have a wonderful day.